All right, welcome back, Cynics. Episode 18 of the Two Cynics podcast. Going at it, we got a bunch of topics today. Some action on TikTok with people ripping on our show. Even
Did he respond to my most recent comment?
I don't think so, because the guy's soft. But yeah, I think people are continuing to call us out for the fact that we just had the typical hey, we should do a podcast, which is, they're not wrong. Like, this is exactly how the conversation started, but
it's not going well.
Not by, no, I don't know what that sound is, but not by any metric.
We're making no progress.
Do we hire Rick Kahn Social, the guy who's got as many followers as us, but claims that he has clients who are just blowing up on social media?
We're no better than Rick Hahn?
Yeah.
I think it's Hahn, H-A-N.
No, that's
Hahn.
No, Rick Hahn is the general manager of the White Sox who just got fired. Yeah, I actually don't even know if his name's Rick, but he's Kahn Social. I completely made up the fact that his name's Rick. But
it's embarrassing. This guy, we are no different. Like, if I was watching our TikToks, I would roast us just the same as we're being roasted.
Has Hannah been giving you the business recently? She views the profile every single day. It's like, what are you checking in on? There's no progress being made.
It's funny that she actually watches. It's funny that she watches the clips. No, she's resigned to our idiocy and our lack of progress. She's starting to make content now too. She bought a tripod. She's doing like vlogs.
Is she getting any more traction
than us? She's trying to become like an influencer. She hasn't posted. Well? She did her first video this week. She hasn't posted. I think they're going to be TikToks, and she wants like free stuff from like skincare places. That's her motivation, is to get like free skincare and makeup and stuff.
I mean, I feel like that's achievable, right? I mean,
her video was actually really good. She spent like hours editing it. It was a really good video.
Can't relate. We can't relate to that amount of effort, attention. Edit within 12 minutes. This one guy edits in 12 minutes. The other guy falls asleep during the recording because he's just on his couch laying sideways trying to listen for inappropriate words. But I don't know.
I dread every Sunday when my Two Cynics edit reminder comes up at noon. I'm like, fuck.
I was going to text you.
Go edit the podcast.
For those who are going to watch us on video, in the videos, you'll see. Oh,
did you upload it to YouTube last week?
Didn't work. I'm going to try again this week.
Well, are you editing the long form too?
No, I'm not editing the video. It's going to be for the Cynics, it's going to be an audio only, but on YouTube. Basically just puts us on another platform in case you're like a YouTube Music or YouTube Premium person. I
don't even want those people as fans.
I rage signed up for Amazon Music at 4:30 in the morning last night. I woke up at 4:15. Awful stomach ache.
Why?
Spicy chicken sandwich at the U.S. Open in some kind of like, I thought it was
$17.
17 was like 22. The Heineken was 15. Disgusting. And it was like, how it's hard to fuck up a spicy chicken sandwich. Like, you get your spicy chicken, you get your pickle, you get your bun, and then if you want to add cheese, and then your spicy mayo or like sriracha or spicy sauce, whatever. And for whatever reason, this sauce was just inflammatory. And I woke up at 4:30 in the morning and was finishing. Nothing worked to fix my stomach. I ate a Jersey Mike sandwich at 5 in the morning. A leftover.
How do you expect that to help you?
I thought I needed to get some food in the system. Just to
cold
keep the process,
overly processed cold cuts.
Just keep the process moving. So that didn't help. And then I was pissed at Spotify because the app was glitching, even though it was my fault. It wasn't their fault. And I rage downloaded Amazon Music, thinking that I was going to become some trailblazer, just like anybody who uses like YouTube Music thinks that they're like different or cool because they get like the music videos on the stream. Anyway, long story short, we're gonna try YouTube this week, and I don't foresee it being successful, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm just shocked that I think my number one shock is Twitter X. We knew that was going to be an uphill battle. Like, you got to be putting out news. We had that one guy, shout out the marketing guy, who told us that we were doing a good job and that he loved our content, and then we never heard from him again, besides like one post that he liked. But on Instagram, like, we have 60 followers, and I'm fairly confident that they're real people. They're they have no interest in America, anything that we talk about. But what shocks me is that I post stories and they're so eager to follow us, and their friends will like follow us immediately after like another person follows us. And then I post a story to the podcast and we have no traffic in Brazil. Like, you would think human nature, 1 out of 50 or 60 people is going to click on that link on the story.
I don't think they understand the words that we're saying. I think like we were like, there had to be an accidental follow that we just like got caught in the algorithm.
Okay, but they know what Apple and Spotify are. Like, surely they can click a link. Surely. It's so bad.
Guys, our friends in Sao Paulo and Rio, just follow us. Listen to the podcast. Let's do some what's in the current event world.
Current event world. I don't know. I have no current events topics.
Trump?
No.
Why? It doesn't have to be political.
You say that every time, and then it gets political, and then I uncomfortably just don't say anything.
Don't make it political.
He's not 6'3", 215.
It's a witch hunt.
I'll tell you that much.
Political opponent oppression. 215 is crazy. He's huge.
I know.
He's huge. And I'm like 6'2" and 240 on a good day. Like, I haven't eaten since the day before. Maybe I'm 240 if I peed a lot. Like, in a dream world, I'm 240. He's way bigger than me. He's so fat. I think he's like 280, 290. He's enormous.
And of course they were speeding up the process or something to get those numbers and not to do an official way. And I was just looking at the numbers.
Political theater.
Yeah, I was just looking at the numbers for the last show, and we had a slight uptick, but that looked like it was all you. So unfortunately,
I listened to the show several times. Is that what you're saying?
That's what the data says. Because your number went up by a couple. My number stayed the same.
Maybe we have fans in the area.
No way.
Locals.
Yeah, maybe they're overhearing the conversation from the new venue, because you're in. I know you're in the management clubhouse in your building. You're in enemy territory right now for how much shit you've talked about this establishment.
This would be a perfect time. There's actually a guy
passive aggressively complain about the simulator, just screaming.
Did I tell you it works like beautifully?
You told me it works, but then you said there was like a false start and that something else was still not working. That's the last thing.
No, that was like a month or two ago. Now it's fully functioning. It's great.
So how often are you going?
I went like 3 times last week.
It's awesome.
But I'm playing this weekend, so like I'm trying to like, find something again. I did find something. I'm just with like, it's so weird. Just like with wedges, I just like completely found something. Like anything within like 90 yards, I feel like I can just put within like 10 feet. Yeah, it's so weird. All I do is I try to like, it worked for me once by accident. I just drop the club into the ball. Like no swing. I just bring the club up and it's like I drop my hands and let it hit the ball. And it just, I catch
left arm straight. Left arm straight.
I can't do all the arms straight. I end up just robotic. There's
I know.
It's such a touch and like feel game. I just try not to overthink it and just be an athlete.
Use your wrists, right? You just want to use your hands. Like that's
just hands. Not like
yeah.
wrists is the wrong word because you get weird, but like you just try to like around the greens. I like do no technique other than like just feel like you're putting the ball close.
I might go to the range soon.
You should stop being so disgruntled against golf.
I might get some pointers from a friend of mine who likes to play golf. Allegedly shot a 75 last week.
Was that who I think it is?
Who do you think it is? Yeah,
absolutely not. Fucking liar.
He texts me on 18. He's like,
no.
He texts
me with a mulligan on every hole and like adjusts the ball when it's in the dirt. Like, there's no way.
Preferred lies. He texts me. He's like, I have a putt for birdie for 74. And I was like, okay, no picture of the scorecard, nothing. And then, of course, no text after that. So I was like, okay, so there's no way he made that birdie putt. Yeah.
Why? Like,
this is going to have to get cut.
He probably, like, just bleep out his name. It's okay.
He's going to know. If he ever listens, he's going to know what we're talking about. Yeah, it's not great. But maybe he can help.
When you saw him on the train yesterday, I can like picture hey brother, and you just like dap him up and you bump shoulders.
And he was there with another girl, like a friend, not like a significant other, and I was just like, I can't believe we're in the same train car. Like, why couldn't I have just sat in the first one?
How was the U.S. Open? Nostalgic?
Honestly, I try not to take it for granted anymore, but it's different now. Like living there and going every year is.
Did you go last year too?
I've gone the last 2 years. Obviously, 2 years ago I didn't live there yet, but I went last year. This year, 2 qualifying days. We got rained out mostly yesterday, and then I'm going 2 night sessions next week.
That's exciting. Who are you going to see?
I don't know. The schedule hasn't come out yet.
Oh, it hasn't come out.
The draws are out, but the schedule isn't out.
So I'm excited. I mean, this is like the best time of year. U.S. Open, FedEx Cup, football. Like, this is it.
I agree. I also think, like, I mean, this is it. Because after this week, it's, at least for those 2 sports, it's over. Ryder Cup, even though you don't care particularly.
Go Europe.
I mean, it's on to football. It's on to football. Hitting football hard after this. College and NFL.
Football now is so, like, you have football Thursday, Sunday, Monday. Like, that's a lot of football. Like, the break you get isn't very big. And, like, baseball's heating up, whereas you can watch, like, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday baseball and be pretty locked in. I'm locked in. I watched, like, the last 4 innings yesterday. I was fired up.
We're good, not great. That's how I would describe.
We are scrappy.
Starting pitching is terrible, but like we can at least beat bad teams, and
we hit balls. Like yesterday,
when people have no idea who we're talking about. We're talking about the Chicago Cubs.
I got to tell the story of the new TV. So we've had this TV for like 7 years, and it's like 50 inches. It's like a Roku TV. It's normal. It's a normal TV. But it was for the last like 2 years, it was unwatchable, like especially Netflix.
I can confirm.
Oh my God. You turn on Netflix, and once you get to the show, if you pause once, the TV just shuts off and you got to go through it all. It takes like 10 minutes to start a show. And so last week, finally, the TV just died. It just stopped working. The screen went black. It cost like $300 to fix it. I'm like, screw this. TVs are cheap. I bought a 65-inch Google TV. It's beautiful.
How much did you pay for that? $400?
400, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like that. 450 with tax. It's a steal. Like,
yeah,
it's a steal
for that size. Yeah.
And I was like, there was another option for like 800, which was like LED 4K Ultra. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna notice the difference. So this TV comes, Costco delivery. Costco had good deals too. Like this TV, like you can't even get it anywhere else except Costco. It comes, it's huge, obviously. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to mount this on the wall. And I've mounted a TV by myself 4 or 5 times, but never on a swivel mount, like always just straight onto the wall. And last year, my dad and I mounted our old TV on a swivel mount, which is a little harder because it gets off the wall and you're a little more paranoid. But this one I had to hang on a swivel mount. And here's the problem to this too. It had to go even higher than the old one because it's bigger. So the space between that and like the TV stand, it doesn't look like it's not like that anymore because it's angled. Like you won't
it's angled down
so far down that you're looking pretty. The old one was flat on the wall, so you had to be like this. So stupid. But this one is angled so far down. But so I had to hang it super high. So once I took,
do you have a ladder? Do you have a ladder?
I had a stool.
Oh my God.
And the TV's 65 inches. What am I? 6'2". So my wingspan would be what? If it's 6'2", it's 74.
I don't know.
Let's say my wingspan is 74. So like the 65-inch TV was like almost the peak of my wingspan. And first, when I took the old mount off, I'm like, all right, I'll just put the new mount, this old mount on the new TV. No, the old mount doesn't go on a 65-inch. So I had to go to Walmart, pay $75 for a new mount. Pain in the ass. Take the old mount off the wall, put the new one on. So paranoid the whole time. Finally, it's time to hang the TV up. It's 3 hours later. And I'm standing on this bar stool with my arms like completely stretched out. I'm like, all right, if I fall back, like it's over. Like,
are you standing? Are you standing or you're on a knee?
I'm standing on the stool.
Oh my God.
You've seen our kitchen stools. Yes. Like they're small. And so I get it on.
You're wearing shoes at least?
No,
socks.
Socks.
Idiot.
Socks. So
idiot.
And I get it on, but when it first goes on, like it's so heavy that it completely angles it like down. It's essentially like facing down. And so I get behind the TV and I got to like crank these screws. And I'm like, I feel like if I crank it too far to like where you can adjust the angle, the TV's going to fall. So I'm standing there with one arm under, like holding the TV, cranking the screw. And all of a sudden I feel the screw let go and the TV just is off. And I'm holding it like I'm holding a
65-inch TV with one hand.
With one arm. And I'm like, and Hannah's in the other room. I'm like, Hannah, she's like, what? I'm like, put the baby in the crib and come here right now. And I'm just like hanging on for dear life. So anyway, moral of the story.
So you should have filmed this.
Yeah, should have. It's all on camera. It's on. No, it's not on the security camera because it's no, I had to unplug it to get back there. But anyway, have help if you're doing a TV. Like if it's a big TV, you need to. It says on the instructions like
two people. Yeah,
and Hannah's too small. Like she just couldn't physically hold that TV. But now it's amazing. The quality of picture is. It's night and day. Looking at that, like I'm sitting there just like happy.
It's life changing.
Anything.
It's Apple like getting
TV
glasses
now is on there.
Yeah,
that's the best. Yeah, it's like getting glasses when you haven't been able to see for 2 years. Remote listening, like where you can have it in your earbuds. On the Roku, I had to do it through my phone remote. But this, you just hook up Bluetooth. Oh, I'm in heaven. I can't wait to go home every day and look at this TV.
Wait, hold on. Explain the Bluetooth thing again.
This isn't relevant to you because you never have to listen. Like you just always have your TV on, the volume on. But
because you have a kid.
Anna goes to sleep or something, or I want to listen to something quietly. I want it in my ear. I want the TV sound in my ear.
In your AirPods.
In my AirPods, yeah. So on the Roku, there's a Roku like app that has a phone, right? So this remote, you could hook up your phone Bluetooth to this remote and the volume would play through your phone. So it would play in your ear. So like if you'd get a call during something,
it would pause
everything. And it was a nightmare. So now it's just Bluetooth through the TV. I hooked up my AirPods.
That's very good. So no like Google app or anything required. Hisense app. No.
Google app, yes, but just like to sign in. Like it's just signed in through Google. I'm in heaven. It's the best.
I obviously also made a big TV purchase about 8 months ago, and I think we talked about this offline, but I've had this popping and crackling sound coming from the TV, and I did some research on it, and it can be either a ventilation problem or it can be because the TV is tilted. And so I have an issue where first I thought that the TV was tilted because my floor is a little bit uneven because of the awful job that these fucking third-party contractors did when they replaced the floors before I moved in. I should have just kept the old ones and not done anything at all. But it's not the floor because I took out the tape measure and I measured to the top of the stand and it's even on both sides. But then the TV is not even on both sides. So I don't know what to do because I noticed this out of the gate, like when I first screwed the stand on, the day that I got it. And I don't know what to do. What do I do? It's uneven. It is absolutely uneven. And that is what's causing these crackling sounds. Do I take it off again and like just do it over again? Like
put it on the wall.
What the fuck is the point of the stand then? I'm not going to mount it on the wall.
Don't have a stand. Just put. Oh, you mean the actual like?
I'm paying for a massive TV stand underneath it.
Put a book under. Level it out.
I don't think the book on the stand would do anything. It's
under it.
Under the stand.
Yes.
I don't think that would do anything. That part is flat still. It's the actual TV that's angled on the stand. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, that means that the stand is angled too.
So there's a problem.
Yeah, just like get like a level and put the level on the stand and see which direction. So like if this is your wall and this is the stand, is it like this?
So
or is it like this?
We're talking about two different things. There's the TV. There's the whole IKEA stand, right? There, like it opens up. There's shelves and stuff on it, right? And then there's the actual gray stand that the TV is mounted on, right? You following?
Yes. So the shelf is what's uneven, like at its core.
No, that's what I'm telling you is that the shelf is fine.
How's that possible?
I don't know. I don't know.
If the floor is the problem, then the shelf is the first thing.
Yes, but then I look at the height of the shelf on both sides, on the left side and the right side, and they're equal.
You won't notice. If it's this much of a difference, you can't possibly notice.
No. But listen, I have a ruletka. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm telling you, the shelf is equal on both sides, but then you go up to the TV, and the distance from the shelf to the edge of the TV is bigger on the left side than it is on the right side. And I don't know what to do about that.
Get a level and find out where the problem lies. See what item is uneven.
I can tell you. I'm telling you, it's the TV that's uneven.
Okay, but the TV's on the TV stand, making the TV stand has to be what's uneven. The TV can't just then it's an uneven TV.
Is that possible?
No, it's not possible. So
okay. So what about this? Is it possible that I did a bad job of screwing in the TV into the stand? So that is probably what's happening. But my counter argument to that is that I noticed this out of the gate. I took it back off and I redid it again. And I mean, I'm tightening it as tight as it goes.
In every single as tight as it goes. Like tighten it almost as tight as it goes.
I just feel like such a loser. Like, and I can't. If my dad were here, I could obviously use the help. My dad's not coming anytime soon. I'm not gonna text one of my buddies and be like, "Hey, are you handy? Come on in." That's not going to happen.
Hannah, the whole time I was mounting the TV, was so pissed. Like, you should have hired somebody. I'm like, I am not a beta. I'm not hiring someone to mount my TV. She's like, just have someone help you. I'm like, people don't do that. You help me. You stand here and help me.
I mean, people would help me, but it would just be like, this isn't like you knew what you were doing. You just needed a body, right? You needed
I needed muscle.
Yes. You needed muscle, a second pair of hands, right? I don't need, I was able to, without fucking things up, I was able to do this all by myself. Again, now recommended. It's, taking it off and resting it on my mattress, that's easy, right? That's where I did the screwing and the unscrewing. and then it's the putting it back on that requires, you know.
Is it just legs on the
It's not legs. It's the stand is on the bottom, in the middle.
So stupid. Just get legs.
Legs look like amateur hour. Legs look like college, and you know it. You know it.
This TV that I got came with legs, and yeah, it does. I mean, the TV that we watched in
yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, that TV was pathetic, outside. but legs just look. They don't look good aesthetically. Like this stand looks good. It's just that I don't know. I mean, I probably FaceTime my dad. What's he gonna do? Watch me screw the thing in?
Yell at you for doing it wrong. I called my brother, and he was like, "Yeah, it looks good." When our dad they're visiting next week. He's like, "When he's there, you guys should do it together, so he can yell at you for doing it wrong the whole time."
My dad's gonna be like, "You did this 8 months ago, and you've let the TV pop and crackle for 8 months on $1,000 investment." He probably thinks the TV is like gone.
TV was $1,000.
I paid for the UK8 LED HD.
Psycho. How big is it?
65.
Do you feel a difference?
Yeah, I mean, it's better than my parents' TV at home. Like it's truly an A+ experience. If only fucking I have some apps on Roku that just don't stream great quality. Like have you ever watched the Apple TV Plus Sports on the Apple TV Plus app?
What do you watch? Soccer
or Friday Night Baseball? If it's the Cubs, I mean, I don't want to be a bad look for myself here. Like I can tell you off the top of my head, what app streams sports? Paramount Plus is good. Peacock, no good, not good enough. So then I tried my Amazon Fire TV plugin, external plugin. Quality is great on Prime Video there in terms of like the picture and the transition, but the color isn't good because it's not the native. It's not the native device. So I mean, I'm a psycho about this stuff, you know, which is why I'm very curious how things are looking on. I almost am such a user. I was like, I need to single-handedly make another trip to see how things look. Wake up at 9 a.m. to watch soccer on Peacock on a Saturday morning.
I will say the mounted TV angled experience is incredible. Like watching a mounted TV, you also feel like wealthy watching a mounted TV when it's angled. There's something about it that makes me feel like I'm living in a huge house. I don't know.
I definitely thought about that. Unfortunately, the living room has to be proportionate to the to the size and location of the TV. Wall. Yeah, but I agree with what you're saying. So I don't know what to do. Like I followed all the instructions. Like should I just put it back down on my bed and undo the stand and try it again? Like
get a level.
Okay, so I'll where do I place this level?
Everywhere to find out what's the first. You put it on top of the TV, okay, and you'll know which direction. Stop, and you'll know which direction the TV's going. Like so, you know.
I know what direction is going. Okay, I know.
Then you'll put it on the TV stand to see at what angle the TV stand is, and see if there's any problem there, and then so on and so on. Then once you know, at the very least, like you can figure out to put like a little book under something, like a thin Curious George book to give it another inch and just see what happens.
Who the fuck has a thin Curious George book hanging around? You guys buying your daughter Curious George books?
My mom has like 1,000 of them. I'll send you some.
You pay for the shipping, not me. USPS informed delivery. You have a Curious George book arriving tomorrow.
USPS will take 7 weeks to get from Chicago to New York, if it makes it.
I basically have 4 months to figure this out because it's a 1-year limited warranty. So before
you'll capitalize on the warranty. You'll make it happen.
The problem with the warranty is that like before they honor the warranty, they always going to send some third party guys to come like look at it, and I don't want that happening here. So it's like I at least I googled it. I don't believe in the ventilation stuff. Like everybody's got cords behind their TV.
Yeah.
Like that's
This one TV is
every
not well ventilated. Come on.
I mean, there is stuff about specific TCL Roku TVs, so credit to Reddit for at least people are talking about that. But okay, so I'm gonna buy a level. It's got to be very thin, right, to fit on to be able to place on a TV, right?
They're all thin. Yeah, just
Okay.
the one with like the little liquid in the middle and the little.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I'm determined to figure this out. But again, it's I know what the outcome is going to be. It's a matter of execution. How do I
Curious George book.
how do I which is so pathetic. Like guy needs a children's book to balance a fucking $1,000 TV
It's a good talking point. No, something's
with
not
women.
Right. There's yeah.
I don't even what even is Curious George? Is there any TV shows associated with it?
Probably. I don't know.
I don't
There's
have Disney
TVs
Plus. I don't have
days.
Disney Plus, so
I unfortunately now do have Disney Plus. I was we were always against Disney Plus. Like when adults would get Disney Plus and watch Disney things, this throws back to our Disney conversation for adults. But now, we have it for legitimate reasons. I can't watch those movies. I don't know how adults watch like Moana. I've seen Moana 55 times and I can't. It's the worst.
yeah, that's
You get into it for your kids and like you try to entertain them with it, but how people sit there and watch that like on a Friday night is just beyond me.
we'll never understand. We'll never try to understand. All right, that's 30 minutes on the TV topic. We'll keep I know the cynics.
Trump political witch hunt.
Stop. What's your Starbucks shower lady story?
Did I tell this last week? There was a lady showering inside a Starbucks in the city.
You did? This is the problem. You have no topics. I don't know what to go for.
What is back order guy at party? Oh, BO body odor.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Disgusting.
So I was at
a reunion FMK proposal.
This is good. People? So don't fucking say the name. Actually, this doesn't matter. So
Lindsay, you're never listening to this.
Well, there's multiple Lindsays in my life.
Lindsay.
So basically, the one person in my sphere that's aware of this podcast was having a housewarming party, new apartment, helped them move a month ago. Big party.
You helped people move?
Yeah, I helped him. I helped him and his girlfriend move.
An unacceptable thing to do as an adult to ask a friend to help you move. Hire movers.
I offered to help because I knew he wouldn't hire movers.
I'm good, thanks. We have professionals helping.
Well, they didn't hire movers.
That's their problem. You're an adult, hire movers, or don't ask your friends.
He didn't ask. Yes,
it doesn't matter. Say no.
Okay. Very cynical. Love the perspective. Housewarming party. Great party. I, of course, show up by myself because no other friends of mine have really closely communicated with this guy. I always show up everywhere by myself, different circles, not an enviable position to be in. And, I brought some Vizzies, hard seltzers.
Everyone's coming out with a hard seltzer these days. Everything's a hard seltzer.
So there's a guy who we went to college with who showed up at this party. Nobody liked this guy. He's like filthy rich, entitled, pursued medical school for a time, but it also is like an investor. What, you don't know this guy?
You said we went to college with.
Not you. I'm talking my friend who's hosting the party and me. No, so this guy is a tool. He hasn't talked to any of us in years, and he somehow, through another person, like invited himself to this party. And he shows up in a polo and a backwards 2023 PGA Championship Oak Hill hat, and he smells awful. Like I don't understand. Like BO
awful.
BO awful. just disgusting.
That just means you haven't showered in days. Even if you're sweaty, there's a sweat smell and there's a I don't shower smell.
Or an I don't use deodorant smell.
Yes.
Like,
but even if I don't use deodorant for 2 days, I'll be okay. It's on day 3 and 4.
Don't start your shower and you probably didn't shower for 48 hours after you mounted that TV and was sweating like a bitch.
I shower 6 days a week. Okay, I shower every day before I go to work. Okay. That's it. The night before. I'm a night guy.
Okay. So this guy, the whole night smelled awful, and people started noticing, and I was chief among them. And I would do everything. And this guy also didn't give me the time of day. Like in college, we would, run into each other in the same places sometimes. He had no clue who I was, didn't acknowledge me. I didn't acknowledge him. And I was just trying to get away from him the whole night. And then the party was on a roof. So It was like, it was very breezy and windy. So there was fresh air coming in to it was a line of defense. It was also
I thought it was moving
around. Then we go into the apartment later on as the party's not dwindling.
This fucking guy right now.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
And he was sitting on this brand new white couch. And I was like,
which doesn't actually mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
It's not green. It's not going to permeate the color, but it just seems like, dude, get off. It's like when you're disgusting, like when after practice, lay down in someone else. He would lay down in someone else's bed. I was like, oh.
Or in the car. Oh my God, my car smelled like
your car. Your car deserved. Practice.
I would pray that somebody would sit shotgun that wasn't after practice. I'd have to
sweatiest.
I had to roll down both windows. It would be 35 in the winter, and I would roll down both windows because it smelled so bad.
Everyone would probably be cold. Shut the fuck up. It's my car.
And the windows wouldn't even roll down; they'd be frozen half the time. So it gets worse in the apartment, and then we go to this bar/club place. The main floor is a bar, very classy, and then there's a basement area that's very much like a club type of vibe. Disgusting. And we're in the club, we're in the basement, and this guy's dancing next to us. And in the basement, I tell you what, Al, you cannot escape that smell down there, man. So that was, you're like, what shitty impression was that?
What was that?
Chris Collinsworth. Al, let me tell you, this guy, he smelled so bad. I did the tape on him last night, and he could not have smelled worse.
You have better impressions than Chris Collinsworth.
So he smelled awful. I tried to get away. Finally, he left. No self-awareness. I think he just called it a night. So that was bad. And then, I'm still dancing. I still have some energy. And this guy walks up to me, and he's got 2 girls next to him. And they're kind of dancing. And he walks up to me, and he goes, fuck, marry, kill. Me, her, and her. What? I was like,
first of all,
he was gay.
We know what's happening to you, right? If you're asking me that question, between the 3 of you, what a dumb question.
Oh, I know. Well, so I think he was gay, but
okay. So when I picture, you said he walked in with 2 girls. I thought he was like Batman, like Bruce Wayne with 2 girls on his arm.
Very much not.
So he was just hitting on you.
Potentially. Is that a new move where it's you try to get the straight guy by coming in with 2 girls and then throwing yourself in the mix? I was so, and I'm so bad at this stuff. These where you got to think fast, right on your feet in a social situation. If I analyze it after the fact, I'm like, oh yeah, I should have said this. I should have done this. And I'm like, and he wouldn't, he made me answer. And I was like,
made you answer.
I
would just walk away from him.
There's nowhere to walk away. It's we're in a basement. Everybody's rubbing shoulders, dancing.
I was like, what is FMK? I thought it was a name.
Francis Michael Key. This is how this guy is so out of the game. He hasn't even heard that joke in like 10 years.
Stupid.
So basically I told him.
So brutal. Makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, I love how as soon as you get a little uncomfortable, I have to cut it out.
Trump witch hunt.
I'm over here being like,
Trump's a political prisoner.
I'm like, fuck. I can't cut this out because he's gonna get mad, and I have to let him express his opinions. I'm like, I have to. I was like, you can't suffocate your co-host. You gotta let him do his thing.
Let him cook.
Yeah.
Trump's gonna get shot out of the air like the Wagner Group.
Okay.
Biden
so that happens in the third part of the night, post BO, post FMK. Last year, there was a friend of my friend's girlfriend with whom I made out and danced and had a very good night with shortly after I moved to New York. Sad to say, one of my best nights in the city. And came home at 5 a.m, got her number, proceeded to find out that she was, not only was she had a boyfriend, she was living with a boyfriend the night that this all happened. And my friend was like, yeah, my girlfriend said she's just flirty and likes to talk. And I'm like,
no.
Like
that doesn't fly here. She's not.
I know. I mean, we made out on the dance floor at this place for like a solid 45 minutes. Like, this is not, I have a boyfriend and live with this boyfriend. I mean, I loved it, but that's
5 minutes.
I mean, not like nonstop, but.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just like.
No, I mean, come on, that's not realistic. But. But.
Us seeing so much salivary exchange.
Oh, see that now that just makes me like.
That's what I mean. Like, it feels like it's like a stranger. Like.
You got to have a good time. You gotta party sometimes.
Buzzkill. That's. So did you ever hear from her again? Did the boyfriend?
No. I got her number. I texted her like just to be like, hey, like, did you get home okay? She said yes, and then
yeah, my boyfriend made me breakfast.
And then so after the fact, like my friend left early that night a year and a half ago. So he didn't know the full extent of what went on after the fact. And so I filled him in. He's like, dude, I'm pretty sure she has a boyfriend and like lives with him. And so after that, I obviously didn't text her because I was like, I'm not getting involved in this. Like, this is stupid. And I wasn't like trying to steal her from this guy, especially when she's living with him. So crickets for a year and a half, and then she shows up to this party. So let me put yourself in my shoes. Do you say anything? Do you do anything? What's your strategy? She shows up to the basement.
Do you like her?
No, like no interest in
pretend
doing
it didn't happen. Yeah,
that's what I did. And I was like, listen, for all I know, she maybe doesn't know. She maybe doesn't remember that it happened. Or, you know, I have an amazing memory. This might be a blimp on the radar for her, especially if she's doing it all the time. I know we're running up on time. Wrap it up.
No, 5. I got a notification. Yeah, but I do have to go in a few minutes.
Wrap up in 5. So she comes up to me and she tries to say something, and to like me and this other guy, and I shit you not, I have no idea what she's saying. It's too loud. Like, I could hear the guy. No, I was like shaking my head. I was like, I can't hear you. And she kept, yeah, exactly. Which is kind of a bad look. Makes you seem like a pussy. Like you're not able to handle the confrontation. Yeah, I'm like doing like the lean in, you know? Yeah, exactly. And she, I think she tried to say that she thought that I looked familiar or that she's seen me before. Or recognize me. And I was like, and I basically just shrugged it off and like nothing happened. That's it. Yeah. You're like the guy who does the slow-mo.
How good was
so
that?
good. I was like, part of me was like, I could do that, and then I was like, no way. Like,
no, it's so slow. Like, it's so slowed down. He's got to be like strong to make those motions too,
without shaking or without
incredible.
Like, yeah.
I was so, and the faces he makes it
after scoring. Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, so that was.
If he'll give us some love, we'll post a clip and tag him.
We'll
give
do
him
it.
Support. He can come on the show. You're welcome on the show anytime.
We don't know your name, but we'll.
You're looking to expand into the Brazilian market. We can help you. Or the what else was there? Belgium,
Brazil.
Are they still listening? How are their analytics?
In Belgium, seems like they're downloading every episode, or I don't know about downloading, but listening.
Shout out Belgium.
Yeah, that number just keeps growing. It's Belgium, and then we got Virginia and Oklahoma that are giving us some love, and then we've got a bunch of NAs. Like, who are these NAs?
How many downloads per episode?
Do we really want to?
Include ours.
So the last week's episode 17, Michael Orr, where I hand up came unprepared to debate the situation, and I listened to PMT after us, and they just did like a 300x better job of talking about that episode than we did. Yeah, so that episode has 9 downloads, including us. And I read that out of the gate for like a new podcast, like a new podcast that's like try to grow, you got to have 30 a week. Like in the first week after an episode being out, you need 30. Our episode one that we heavily promoted, and we definitely both listened to that one multiple times on our own feeds on multiple devices. That's at 30 after 4 months.
Well, on that note, I have to go. That's so
And on that note, we wave a white flag. All right, thanks to Cynics for listening. I'm gonna keep yelling and keep shouting from the rooftops, and we'll probably
turn my shirt around.
Oh, stop! We're still on camera. We'll probably see this, or we'll see you next week.